Every creator eventually gets to the point where we can't do it ourselves, and it used to be as simple as hire a VA. But are we at a point where AI can do it for $20 a month? She's been in the game for 19 years, building operational systems for the top businesses. And she told me,
okay, so
what we need to give up, and I gave her how AI can do it. Everything from taking over your email, from calendar to even bookkeeping. Like, this is the conversation every creator needs.
now you see, you do need all of those roles, but my thing was always, it's not about the people, it's about the roles. You can find different people to do it. We didn't have this as an opportunity. It had to be people. There's two types of systems. So Nicky is good on the tech system side. That is her jam. She can't wait to tech her life away, right? I work on the operational side. So what ends up happening is folks are like, yay, AI. And I want to go do tech stuff. And this is amazing. But how can you explain it and train somebody else to do it if you're just doing it off of your greatness? If you can't document it and explain it to somebody else, you're going to have to do that thing until the day you die. Now, the blessing is now you have AI. It can record your screen. It can create SOPs for you. All of these wonderful, beautiful things, especially what Nicky's been building. So all of this new technology is amazing. But if you still don't know how to tell the AI what to do, you're still going to be looking crazy. It's going to take the input and the sad information that you already prompted it to do, and it's going to create sad documentation.
I want to go back to the VA situation, right? Because I don't use mine.
Bruh.
I now start automating some stuff. It's hard, okay? Does it vary for like what are some certain tasks that instantly should go to the VA? Like what is a guaranteed, if this happens, that has to go to the VA?
Emails. Please send your emails over to the VA. If you're getting some emails you shouldn't be getting, you probably shouldn't be getting them. Your emails at this point should not be managed by yourself. You telling me that this $5 task, you know I hate a $5 task. Mm-hmm. That means something that I could delegate to somebody else and pay them well for their community. I can give you a $5 task so I can go focus on my $1 million business. Yeah, why y'all doing these $5 tasks? Anything that got to do with creating content that you don't have to be responsible for. If you fire at photography, but you suck at editing, why are you spending 14 hours on one piece of content because you won't pay somebody $5 to go and edit it? You won't pay somebody $100 to edit it. You telling me this piece of content is about to make you $100,000? It's going to make you $500,000, but you don't want to pay somebody to edit it for you? You're just going to sit on that piece of content until it's irrelevant? This is why I drink my water. Those are tasks, especially the ones that you're not good at. If you're not good at it, and you've proven to yourself that you're not good at it, if you're not good at it, you don't want to do it, and it's not getting done, those are the tasks that you delegate. But here's the thing. You still have to teach them how to do it.
So you said emails. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned, making sure that the way you want them to answer the emails, that all has to be documented. What if my budget is $0.99, right? My budget right now, I can't afford a VA. However, there's this amazing thing called Claude Cowork that connects to my email that I can start training, right? That I can start training exactly how I want in a process, probably a week. Hey, give me the email. How would you respond to it? No, I would respond to this way. And probably I would say the most a week, but probably in like 2 to 3 days, I could get it to answer it exactly how I want it to, and then schedule it out on a morning, afternoon, evening, or however many times. I could do it 5 minutes, every 5 minutes, and it can answer it for me until I can get a certain person to answer my emails. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. But here's the cool thing. Imagine if the way you just explained it, you were explaining it to AI that way. Okay, so there's some email, I'm not really sure, but if you took the time before you even went and talked to the software
Mm-hmm.
and said, let me look at my emails. Who am I getting emails from that are important? Roddy, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, because they're important.
Okay.
Who don't I care about emails from? What emails are priority? What are some keywords that I get all the time that I really struggle with? And you write all of that down, even if you type it. And now you go and drop that into your Claude Cowork. Now you don't have to go back and forth with the AI. Now you can get everything out of your head. You won't forget all the things because now you get to see it. And it's still going to be some things that you forget, but now you can add that in. So I'm 100% excited about people using software in order to speed up the process or to remove people from doing the thing, but they still got to get the things out of their head.
Yeah.
That's the most important part for me. So yeah, co-work your life away. I can't wait for y'all to be great. Yes.
Yeah, because so the process that I do, right, in that scenario is I'll create a skill for it. So as I'm teaching the AI exactly how to do the email, and you've seen some of the responses that it does for me. Yeah. So what that happens, it'll sync to my Notion. So I always have that regardless if Claude happens, ChatGPT gets better, whatever it is, it always stays in my Notion. But then there's a skill that triggers the second that the schedule hits on some like, oh, okay, I know I'm going to this particular framework, this kind of style that Nicky speaks in, and we're answering it depending on what role. Meaning, if this is a new brand deal that comes in, I know I have to follow these certain questions to see if it aligns with Nicky, and I can't email her back until it fits all the check marks, or at least 4 of the 7 of the check marks. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as there's like a schedule and a skill, does that honestly need a VA if I could get that scheduled?
No, you don't. And that's what, yeah.
Come on, trying to save some money over here. I'm trying to save y'all money. Hold up. With a $20 co-work, what's another thing that the VA has, like, instantly have to give up to the VA?
Let's ask the people in the community. What's a task that y'all don't like doing?
Managing a calendar.
Oh, that's AI also.
That's fact. I literally, this morning, shout out to those who use Claude and Dispatch. Dispatch is a low-key fire feature that will allow you to go on walks and still get stuff done. So I use Dispatch because it's connected to my computer. And I go, okay, give me my morning brief. And can we start putting time blocks between 9 and 11 every Monday, and 5 to 7 on Mondays for the research style of things. And it did that and went to find my trips and put it in my calendar because I instantly don't do that. So the AI could do that crazy, like amazingly good. Amazingly good. If you connect it.
Again, AI. So content calendar, AI.
Thanks.
Uploading documents to a portal. Now, I believe AI could probably also do that if it's connected to your Drive, unless it's something that, so let me do a sidebar. I know a lot of you guys are creatives, but there are some industries where you have to be conscious of HIPAA laws, governing bodies, etc. So if you work in healthcare, you run a daycare, there are some things that should not be processed through AI, especially if it's pictures, medical documentation and things like that. Those are things that need to be processed by a human as of now, unless you've got approval and documentation that says otherwise. Finding qualified leads and making calls. There's robocalls. I'm assuming you're coming from real estate or some sort of sales. There's still robocalls that make calls for you, depending on the industry and if it's a high ticket versus low ticket. Now, my services start at $50,000. So nobody wants to hear a robot or AI call them and tell them, well, I don't call out anyway. I get incoming calls, insert hair flip. But nobody wants to tell anybody, hey, it's going to cost $50,000 and press 1 at the beep. That's not going to work. So you also have to identify the industry that you're in and the people and the kind of customers that you have. Real estate, they're more used to automated type sales calls because that's been around even before we had access to, open AI and AI as it is right now. But sales calls, those also are now AI generated. You can choose the voices, you could choose the languages. Bookkeeping, we've had QuickBooks for years before traditional AI as we know it. So 100% for bookkeeping. Now, you also want to be aware of the access that you give to any technology because QuickBooks has been doing it for years, but there's also a lot of policies and laws that go behind that company itself. So before you attach your bank account to anything, make a conscious decision on if you feel comfortable about that at all.
Editing.
Isaiah, you can't say editing.
Isaiah definitely can't say editing. That man is the best of the best. He cannot. Majority of the things that you need edited don't even really need editing. Some of y'all... Hold on.
Sorry.
Gotcha. Some of y'all haven't even been that consistent posting videos that just from you trimming from one point to the next and maybe adding captions and maybe putting a title to it is fine enough. You are overthinking what is probably good just to be consistent off top. Now, for my people who have been consistent, right? My people who have been consistent, and it's like, all right, I want to get a little bit better. Okay, then have we at least tried Submagic, right? Which can do some of the automatic B-roll, and they're actually getting a little bit better. Who can do the trending captions, they're actually getting a little bit better, right? Have we tried that? That's probably, let's say, $30, $40 a month compared to what you would be paying for an editor, because an editor can go, if you're doing a short form video, can be as short as maybe $10 all the way up to $1,000, depending on what you want, right? Now we get to long form, that gets a different type of budget, right? And how often are you doing this? Because think about it, $20 a day, multiple times a day adds up. So some of the things that you do can be fine with Opus Clip. Some of the things that you could do is fine with Submagic. Some things you could do is just okay with trimming. And then when you get to a certain point, give it to somebody else. There's a lot of things that I still edit from a short form standpoint, right? Or I'll give it to Opus Clip. The only thing I do not touch, because that is a waste of my time, is long form editing. That is a waste of my time. But let's keep it a buck. Before I even took YouTube serious, I was editing it because I didn't know if it was going to be a serious thing. I was testing out if I liked it. And so if now that I like it, now I have to give it away. But if I'm testing out, you know what, do I see myself on this platform? Do I see, if some of y'all are still dealing with that, yeah, some of y'all still need to edit. I'm trying to save y'all money.
Any task that takes you away from doing what you were called to do is something that needs to be documented and delegated to somebody else and or to AI.
Sheesh. All right. All right.
And I want to be really, really clear about what Nicky is saying. The amount of time that she's spending doing the research and the testing and the training of her AI, it's that 3 months worth of time where you're training him. She's really doing that amount of training. Because when we talk about training a human, you're not talking about 8 hours a day worth of training. You're like, oh, okay, every day we're going to have an hour worth of time. Well, she's condensing that 3 months worth of time into a week and a half worth of time. And so the amount of time that she's investing, it's allowing you guys to have the opportunity to shortcut and bypass all the amount of time that she's investing. That does not change the fact that you still got to test it and train it on your processes.
Mm-hmm.
all these prompts that she gives you, especially inside the community, all these information, the tip, the time, and all this other stuff, you still have to go and take the time to do it. So don't just feel like, oh, okay, great, I can condense it from 3, but Connie's saying I need a people. I don't need a people. I need an agent. Okay, perfect. No, you still gonna have to invest this amount of time into making sure that this agent is properly trained, just like they're a human, because that's what you're trying to get them to act like. You want them to act like a human, but you don't want to invest the amount of time to train them to act like one. She be working hard, y'all. I promise you. The amount of effort and time and money, because all these softwares and the months and everything that she's putting into making sure that you guys have the best stuff, I'm very proud of you and I commend you. Very much so. She's not a little Nicky, she's a big Nicky.
Yay. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is, and if you want the full conversation with me and Connie, go right here.